So I know we have the volume down for right now, but I think this was the time that they first really introduced the DIY name. I think they talked about it and said it on TV, but they finally got their first merch, and they had the opportunity to really show character work here. That they were guys who had started from the bottom, and now we hear, as apparently some of the great poets say. And Hunter loved those guys. He had an affinity for those guys. Me and Dan, all the respect I have in the world for Hunter, Cash and I were never Hunter guys. Those two were Hunter guys. We were never, we didn't have his number. I remember one time, Tommaso and I both kind of got injured at the same time. And, this was after this match actually. And, Tommaso was on the shelf for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever. And I actually got a knee scope. That's where they found the button in my knee. And I remember Tommaso sending me a text and saying, "Hey, did Hunter get up with you?" I said, "No, I've never talked to Hunter on the phone." He said, "Oh, he just checked on me to make sure I was okay." And I just told him I was a little banged up. And I'm like, this motherfucker, I just had knee surgery yeah. And he didn't send me a text. So that's kind of when I realized me and Cash, we were never going to be Hunter guys. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. No big deal. But, to say that it, might have hurt my feelings, didn't hurt my feelings, that would be a lie. But Tommaso and Ciampa were Hunter guys. Hunter loved them from the beginning. And I think this feud, these series of matches we had with them kind of showed that. But I do think that Hunter thought and felt that he could put anybody in the ring with me and Cash, and we would bring out the best in them, while also making sure people knew and felt that we were just as on par as they were. And I also know that he felt that we were so unselfish. We were never going to make any of the matches about ourselves. We were going to make the match the most important part of the story. So even though we weren't necessarily Hunter guys, I still think he had a little bit of respect for us.
And of course, when we first press play, we see the promo backstage where the DIY is introduced, #DIY, and a great package kind of recapping your ascent to the titles.
Speaking of great packages, Blue Chew.
There you go. And also that beautiful simultaneous title throw over the shoulder by the Revival. Amazing piece of choreography. And then we have the build-up. We're watching the package. It had a great build-up because part of that was that Gargano and Ciampa are starting to be taken seriously. They're starting to get steam, and they could actually challenge the champions, the Revival, who were on a roll at this point.
I think, underneath it subconsciously, Cash and I were worried about them coming in because we had said they were just bingo hall wrestlers, or they were, VFW hall wrestlers.
Yeah, they were seated guys,
Yeah, and we were actually top guys who had wrestled in main events, had traveled the country in front of thousands and thousands of people and not a couple of hundred at these VFW halls. But subconsciously in the back of our minds, we were worried about these guys because they had been in a role and they had defeated us once before in a non-title match for, I think, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So we had a lot of doubt in our mind. Quote unquote, that they would be able to defeat us. But as characters, we would not show that doubt, and we would just keep burying them as minor league talents to us major league top guys.